Welcome back to DIY Dave. I'm Dave, and today we're going to do a project I've never done before. We've talked for a long time about getting a composter or doing some composting in the backyard, and now that we've got our greenhouse finished up, well, obviously we're going to need some good compost. We decided rather than doing it the old-fashioned way and putting it out in the yard and it taking months and months, possibly even a year, to get any good soil out of it, upon some more research, I found these tumblers which will allow us to produce compost in as little as 3 or 4 weeks. During the winter months, they say it'll take a little bit longer, but we need to get started because I got to get some compost for the greenhouse and start planting seeds. So stick around. Alright, so it's a little chilly out here today, so we're going to put this together as fast as we possibly can. I actually cut it open, going to look for the instructions. Never have quite figured out why they always put the instructions on the bottom. And since we were storing this in the house, I didn't want to pull everything out to get the instructions, so y'all are going to get to see me figure this out as I go. Let's go. Oh, well, it's definitely well packaged. Lots of plastic to protect the metal from getting scratched. Well, there's our first scratch. Definitely comes in a lot of little pieces. This is supposed to be a 45-gallon composter, so apparently I've got a lot to put together. Looks like a lot of these, which makes sense. It either snaps together or screws together. We'll find out once we get down to the instructions, I suppose. Okay, so I believe we've got about 8 of that particular piece, these side walls. As you can see, looks like this is going to be a fairly large unit. Hey, I found the instructions. And more bars. Goody. Lots of little screws. Hope we don't lose any of them. Should be fun. better. Nuts. Okay, so let's get our packaging out of the way and we'll get started. Might be wise to toss these little screws and stuff into a container or into one of the side walls. Look, lots of little pictures. I like pictures. Well, it doesn't say anywhere in the instructions that I'm going to need a screwdriver or a wrench, but I think it'd be wise to get one. What do you think? Okay, like I said, it doesn't say anything in the instructions and it doesn't appear to come with any tools, but I can tell you right off the bat, you're going to want a Phillips head screwdriver and a 5/16 hex wrench. And I think we can put this together with just these two tools. So that's pretty awesome. Alright, so we have pictures telling us to put together the first pieces. Apparently that's all we get is pictures. They didn't bother with written instructions. Here at the top it says 85% of customers take 8 minutes. Let's see how I do. The real trick's going to be figuring out which piece is which. So I believe this is AA. This appears to be BB. It looks like these are fairly interchangeable. But one is DD and one is CC. No, they're not interchangeable. You've got buttons on each end of this one and only one button on this one. So I believe that this is DD. It's got two smaller ends on each end. So this is D and these are C. It's got one end that doesn't have the smaller edge and one end that does. So assembly order, we need to put BB into CC. Well, if this is B, then I guess it goes something like this right here. Click. Like I said, I always love that click that you get. Makes you know, let you know that you've got it done. And same here. This is apparently going to go here. And a nice little click. And then DD goes on the other end of BB. So obviously if you get this one wrong, it ain't going to work. It needs to be pointing the same direction as CC, I believe, because that's going to be your bottom piece. It should sit like that. So you'll know if you got it wrong because it'll be pointing the wrong direction. If you put it in this way, obviously that's not going to work. So got to get it the other way. And then your C's and your D's go together. Once again, it ain't gonna work that way. So I've already done something wrong apparently. Has to go like this. It's not optional. So we've got that side. You can't do these wrong. It looks like you can just pop them together, but there is no doing it wrong. I think we're in good shape now. Let's put it together and find out. So we got BB connecting here and here. Alright, I think we've got it this time. Yeah, I believe we've got it. And last one. That very satisfying click, turn the right direction. You know you got it right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Did that take more than 8 minutes? Probably did. And this guy's AA. I believe he just sits right here on top. There, right there. Well, that was page 1. Page 2. Let's see if we can move this part along a little faster. It says 60% of customers spend 15 minutes on this step. I'm in trouble. All right. Well, I believe we're going to want to take this piece. This is going to be the middle for our tumbler. It's a 45-gallon tumbler, and then it's split in half, so you can have fresh compost and you can have not yet ready compost. So that way we can have constant compost coming. So that goes in the center. And then the 2 end pieces. Does it make a difference which one is which, you think? They both say they're A, so that is a no. It does not. So slide this one on here. And then, so much for having our screws in a container, huh? And we'll just have to be careful. Trying to get away from me. Alright, get it perfectly balanced so that you can work on other things. You know, I wonder if that 15 minutes included the 8 minutes, because that didn't take long at all. Oh, we skipped a step. Well, we didn't skip it, we just haven't done it yet. We need to put a bolt in there to keep it on the stand. And I believe that is the long bolt. So let's find our long bolt. Got tons of little short ones and 2 long ones. Looks like we've got 2 larger nuts, so I'm going to have to assume that these go to the larger bolts. So we've got the longer bolts, 2 larger nuts. And it's showing the bolts going down, so we're going to just follow the picture. Like I said, there are no written instructions with this, so it is, if you aren't visually inclined, you're probably going to have some trouble. A little bit of working and jiggling a little to get it to go in the right spot, and then I would go ahead and hand tighten your nuts, but I probably wouldn't recommend tightening them down with the screwdriver and wrench yet, because it's been my experience that sometimes you have to take things back apart, and it's just easier if you don't have to get the tools out to do it. Now, I don't know if y'all have noticed, this seems to be not going straight. I'm not sure if that's the way it's supposed to be or not. I think I found the problem. I believe my C's and my D's may be swapped here on this one side. So we'll see what we can do about getting that fixed. Okay, I did finally figure out what was going on. These 2 pieces put together properly do not match up. As you can see here, they match up. But this one, the holes are on the wrong side. In order to get this to do correctly, I have to turn it like this. I don't know about y'all, but that doesn't look exactly right. So we're going to move on for the purposes of this video, but I do believe I'm going to be contacting the company and letting them know that they messed up. Either that, or I may drill some holes in this to make it work. But for the time being, let's get this thing put together. Okay, so for now at least, this crossbar is much straighter. So a little disappointing there, but like I said, it's one piece and I can either fix it or get them to send me the correct piece. But it does turn out that it took me longer than what they said to get this final piece ready. So now we need to put our side pieces on. The picture kind of shows that I'm supposed to have 8 pieces, and one of them should have doors. I think. Well, let's keep trying, see if we can figure this out. So, next we need to put the side panels on, and I believe they are all the same except for the one with the double doors. So, let's get this done. Kind of thinking this is going to be a lot of fun. Okay, good. It's got some little notches right here that will slide into the holes to help put it in place, and then you put your screw in. So let's do it. Wow, it's tricky. But I believe that's the way it fits together. And then we need to make sure that it that's interesting. Wow. It's not as easy as it looks. And if we turn it the other way, does it fit better that way? Perhaps. Wow. This is not as easy as you would think. It is very particular. Very particular on exactly how you do this. say this step's going to take 30 minutes. I think they're wrong. Okay, there's an arrow right here, and I'm assuming there's going to be an arrow on this one to let us know where the right place is. So that's a good start. At least we kind of know this piece should match up with the arrows. This is our double door piece. So we're going to want to put it in, lining it up with the arrows. Possibly it goes this way. I believe that's a better match. Maybe that'll help things start lining up for me. Cross your fingers. I'd like to get this done sometime tonight. And then I'm once again going to hand tighten these down until I've got a few of the panels in place. And once I've got a few panels in place and I can see that it's working, I'll go ahead and tighten everything down solidly to make sure it stays. But as you can see, sometimes things don't work the way you expect them to, and it's easy to take them apart if you just have it hand tightened. Alright, and then find my arrow on this one. Okay, slide it a little bit wider here. Oh yeah, those screws lined right up with no trouble whatsoever. So far so good, we haven't lost any nuts or screws. Only 8 more panels to go. Or is it 7 more panels to go? Yep, 7 more panels. Okay. Well, I'm hoping that that is right. Maybe that'll tighten up once I start putting the next panel on. Whee! It tumbles. I don't know if y'all can still see. I'm halfway done. And I'm out of light. So I'm going to shut y'all off for a few minutes. Okay, we are finally done. Our tumbling composter is in good working order, completed in just under 2 hours. This is now day 2 because I ran out of light and y'all couldn't see anything. But hopefully, if you purchase this particular composter, it will not take you as long. Part of the delay was the mistakes on the legs that came with it. I managed to make those work. There were a few other details, but all in all, there are 56 screws holding each of these little panels on. Is it 56 or 58? I don't remember now. It was a lot of screws. And let me tell you, leaning over, reaching inside, holding the nut, tightening that screw was difficult. If you are interested in purchasing a composter, from what I understand, this one is supposed to be capable of producing compost in 2 to 3 weeks. We'll find out and I'll let you know. It's pretty simple to work with. Just take the covers off and you've got your holes to put your compost in. Take your compost out, slides back in. So fairly simple, and then every few days you just want to twirl it. I hope y'all have enjoyed this video more than I've enjoyed putting this together. It was a little difficult, but once I figured it out, it was pretty straightforward. The directions were awful, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will come back and see our next video as we work on our little homestead here and lots of other do-it-yourself videos that we're planning. If you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up, give us comments, and be sure to subscribe so that you won't miss any of our future videos. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time right here on DIY Dave and Company.